Hey, real estate developers and those of you thinking about real estate, Dave Rowan here again. We're going to talk about a pretty complex topic today, which is accelerating your ability to pay yourself a salary from your real estate business by using second position debt. And so let's talk about the various forms of debt you can incorporate into a real estate deal. First position debt, we all get this. This is a mortgage offered by your commercial lender. Typically for real estate, you can get it at a 75% loan to value ratio, usually a 5-year term amortized over 20 years, resetting every 5 years. And you usually get a very good rate because it's the first debt to be repaid if something goes wrong. Second position is typically offered by private money lenders. Depending on a variety of factors, you can get loans up to 90% of the value of the property. And it depends on your financial situation, willingness to personally guarantee, your experience as a developer in the deal itself, and several other things actually. But again, that will vary the terms that you can get. It's always, though, going to be at a higher rate than first position debt because it is second in line to be paid. And so let's look at real estate deals. If you're in the business of rehabbing properties and then renting them out, let's look at the major sources of cash flow and then how that results in cash being left behind within each deal and unable to be used in deals going forward. So you've got two sources of cash out here, your cash to acquire the property and your cash to rehab the property. And then once you wrap up a property and get it refinanced, you're going to be getting a significant infusion of cash in the door in the form of the mortgage from your commercial lender. So cash left in the deal is your cost to acquire, your cost to rehab, and then again, the money you get out once you finance it. So let's look at an example here. This is not a great deal, but it makes for some easy math. So let's say you buy a property, all cash, $200,000. You spend $100,000 to rent it, or to rehab it rather, and the final value ends up being $300,000. You'd actually like this to be higher, but again, let's go with it for easy math. You get a $75,000 or 75% loan to value on your mortgage, so that means that you mortgage $225,000, and because you have sent $200,000 out the door to buy it, $100,000 out the door to rehab it, but then you're getting a $225,000 mortgage. You've got $75,000 in cash left in this deal. Now let's look at this on an ongoing basis. Let's say you're in the business of doing this over and over again. And to start your business, you've saved up $300,000 in capital that you can use within the business. And you're able to do these over and over again, once every 4 months. So you finish each of these, they have a final value of $300,000. You're able to get this kind of financing, get this kind of mortgage. So you're leaving behind $75,000 in each one of these deals. But then in terms of monthly income, your monthly net cash flow coming out of each of these is $1,000 per month. Now, let's really get down in the weeds here and take a look at this on how you look at it as a business owner and on a monthly basis. So again, translating this information into an Excel spreadsheet. Let's say you're just starting up, you acquire your first deal, and you get out to month 4, you wrap it up, and you basically leave behind $75,000 in the deal. That chews into your initial $300,000 in capital, and now you're left with $225,000 in capital reserves going into the next deal. You're still happy. You finish deal 2, again, $75,000 out the door. You are getting some rental income per month, and so your cash reserves after deal 2 are $154,000. You get down here to deal 3. You leave another $75,000 behind. Your cash reserves are $87,000. And then we get out to deal 4. You're starting to really make some great monthly income, but your cash reserves have now dwindled down to $24,000. And this is the point that you start to have to wait for income to build back up into your business before you can do your next deal. And so instead of being able to finish this next deal, deal 5, within another 4 months, you're actually capital constrained at this point, and it takes you a full 13 months to finish a deal, because that's how long it takes you to rebuild your cash reserves. And so again, you're still trucking along in your business. Now you have to wait a full 15 months to finish your next deal. Then we're down to 13, 11, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And then at this point, way out here in year 12 of this business model is when it becomes self-sustaining. You can actually start paying yourself a salary of $1,000 a month or $12,000 a year. Let's carry this out through year 15. We'll actually make this a little bit bigger here. You're going to be ending up, by the end of year 15, you'll have completed 30 of these deals, and you'll be paying yourself an annual salary of $120,000. It's really actually, great business, and I'm pretty jacked about it. But I didn't like the fact that I had to wait in years 4 through 12 for capital to keep moving forward. I'm not a happy developer when I'm waiting for money. And so let's look at another scenario where instead of just relying on first position debt, we also start looking at second position debt as well. Actually, let's go over here. So in this scenario, bear with me here. There we go. Let's go with first and second position debt. Same story, except when we get down in here. So we're taking out that first mortgage at $225,000. Now we're going to take out a second mortgage or a second position debt to take it up to a 90% LTV. And so we're looking at about a $45,000 second lien on each property. It's going to cost us about $300 a month to service that second lien, but we only have to leave now behind $30,000 in each deal, and our cash flow, because we're paying that second mortgage, is reduced from $1,000 a month to $700 a month. You say, man, Dave, I really don't like cutting my cash flow by 30% just to grab an extra $45,000 in debt on each property, but let's look at what that translates to on an ongoing basis for your business. Let's move me over here. So let's drag this guy up and look at things. And so you see here, we're only leaving $30,000 behind in each of these deals. Our ending capital after deal 1 is $270,000. Deal 2, because we're starting to make some money early, about $243,000. And you can see with this scenario, we just keep trucking along here without having to wait for capital at all. And all of a sudden, by month 49 or so, year 5, we're already starting to pay ourselves a salary. We are still trucking along here. If we go all the way through these, instead of being able to complete only 30 of these in the 15 years, we're actually able to complete 45 of these deals, and instead of paying ourselves a salary of $120,000, we're paying ourselves the $277,000. I'm real excited about that by using second position debt. And so if we go back over here and look at this as a comparison, let's click back through here. Again, looking at using first position only versus first and second position debt. Here's the salary we're paying. It caps out at $120,000. You can't see my scale over here. Versus looking at first and second position debt, our annual salary builds to the point that it's about $275,000. Actually, here's a better graph, which is showing the number of deals we're completing. And I'm feeling like a rock star with this first position only, and in 15 years completing 30 of these deals. But you can see if we incorporate second position debt into our strategy as well, we're actually able to complete 45 of these deals. And so looking at it on a comparison basis, first position only, you begin paying yourself in year 12. I'm a little frustrated in this scenario because in years 2 through 12, I'm sitting around waiting for capital to rebuild in my business before I can go do new deals. Eventually, it does reach steady state, and we can get to the point where we're owning 30 buildings and paying ourselves a salary of $120,000, which is tremendous. But if you incorporate that first and second position debt, you can actually begin paying yourself in year 5. You are a happy developer and never sitting around waiting for money. At the end, you own 45 buildings and you're paying yourself a final salary of $277,000. So if you are looking to build income from your real estate business as a second source or multiple sources of income, please go ahead and subscribe, like, and share on my YouTube channel here. And if you'd like to talk about how I help real estate developers like you run through analyses like these or build on income even faster, you can visit rowanfinancial.com. Thanks.